Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I thought that I would share an update on how my 2024 planning and journaling system is going thus far, and I figured we would do a little flip through. If that is of interest to you, then please keep watching. Oh, and I'm going to share a new planner that I recently got. So these technically make up the planning and journaling tools that I have been trying to implement for 2024, or that I did implement for January. So let's actually take a deep dive into each one, and I'll share with you a flip through of what all I was doing, how it was going, what my struggles were, etc., etc. Although I do have to say that I guess these three guys were the primary tools and resources that I used to stay organized in January. This is the 5-minute journal by Intelligent Change. And I won this at an event in October of 2023, but I decided that I would try to jump into it in January of 2024. So I waited a few months to try to dive into it. And that is because I already had a system for planning, well, for journaling, I guess, and expressing gratitude already in place in 2023, and I didn't want to disrupt it just because I won a new journal. So the premise of this, and you may have seen this around, is pretty popular. It's also relatively expensive. It's like 30 bucks, maybe even a little more than that. You know, do with that information what you will, but I've always been interested in it. I see a lot of people with it online. I never really knew much about it other than it was called the 5-minute journal. And so when I got one of my own, I thought, wow, let's give this girl a go. So it shares with you how it works and the basic principles. And then there's a place for you to write like an identity statement, all that kind of stuff. I did not do any of that. However, let's just talk about what I did do. All right. So again, the premise of this is that at the beginning of the day or in the morning, you will complete the non-shaded area, and this is supposed to take you about 3 minutes, and then this is supposed to take you about 2 minutes, and you're supposed to complete this at night, hence the sun and the moon. And this is just an example, so I just wanted to put that out there. And in my experience, it did take me probably 3 or 4 minutes to actually complete an entire entry. So I feel like the 5-minute journal, I mean, it's named accordingly, I guess. Let's see how many I actually, okay. All right, we did do one together. By the way, I put 2023 to be expected, and I marked it out and put 24, typical New Year behavior. We did this together online. This was my first day in this planner, and then I did not do it again until 1:13, and then I did it again 1:15. Yeah, 1:15. Oh, I think I was using a pen that wasn't really showing up, so I had to get a new one, and that's why that's hard to read. And then I did it again for the last time. Oh, I almost made it. I did it again for the last time on 1:20, which this was kind of insane because I did this while I was out of town, which is kind of insane again. And I was on a birthday trip kind of situation for my friend, and so I don't know why. I don't know, I kind of got up that morning at the hotel. It was a nice hotel. I think I was just chilling, having some me time, and I was like, oh, let's do my journal. And then I did it, and then we probably went to 50 million bars and clubs that night, so I did not actually do the nighttime part of it. So as it stands, I've completed 3.5 journal entries. I just saw that this was, it congratulates you on reaching day 5, but I didn't actually reach day 5. I will say, had I known that, I probably would have put a little bit more time and energy into making it to day 5. But I told myself as I was going into the new year that I wasn't going to be pressed to complete this because it was something new. It wasn't something I sought after necessarily, and that I was going to do this on mornings that were slower. Well, January wasn't quite a slow month, but when I think about my slower mornings, I'm thinking about when I'm off of work during the summer, or when I have my spring break coming up, which is 2 weeks, when I have my fall break, all of that. I feel like that would be the perfect time to do some more journaling and reflecting, some more introspective, I guess, or deeper journaling and reflecting. And so that's the actual goal. I did not have it in my head that I was going to do this every single day, especially during the work week, because while it only takes like 3 minutes, when I think of what other things I could be doing in 3 minutes in the morning before work, because I've only had one day off from work this year, technically, which was Martin Luther King Day. When I think about those 3 minutes, I think about how I could put on some makeup, or I could take a little extra time in the shower, or I could make my lunch or whatever. And so I just have not simply been prioritizing the 5-minute journal. So this is going to stick around, as it's only January, and I have this, if you write in it every day, I think it's supposed to last you 6 months. Well, I already knew going into it that this would probably last me the entire year, because I don't see myself writing in this every day for 6 months. But this is pretty much the update on the 5-minute journal. Haven't really been doing it for real. I never really made it a plan to do it every day. So this is kind of going accordingly, but I did think that I would have a few more journal entries than this. Won't lie. Let's move on now to my work planner. This is a Hemlock and Oak daily planner, and it shows up a little funky on camera. That's because of these grooves and ridges on the planner. It makes it look a little interesting. So I will say that I loved having this band on here. This is something that I added. I got this from Staples years ago, but it's by the Martha Stewart brand, and you can get it, I think it's like $5, but I have been loving using it. I have used my Hemlock and Oak brass pen the entirety for all of January, and I've just been keeping it in here. But I will show you as we move through here. I have been using a highlighter. That's the only other writing utensil other than this pen that I've been using, and I've just been slipping my highlighter color of choice for the day or the week in here along with it. It's actually smaller, the actual ones that I use, so it fits a little better. I've been using my Zig color dot markers and my mild liners, and they're smaller than that. So I've just been slipping it in here, which is why it's kind of getting a little loosey-goosey, but it's okay. But I've been using this pen. I've been liking it because it is a gel pen. My only issue is that I hate the smell of money, of brass, copper, coins, like all of that stinks to me. In this pen, because it's brass, it has that weird smell. If you might not notice it, but it makes my hands smell weird and metally, I guess. So I've been actually considering going to like a Papermate Flare or a Sharpie S-Gel, just because this pen stinks. But like, in the grand scheme of things, whatever. I paid a good amount of money for it, so I'm going to use it, but I will say that bothers me. As far as the ribbons down here, I've been loving using these. This one will take me to my month, and then the one with the charm here will take me to my day. And so that has been really helpful. But I have just been, as far as the journal, by the way, that stays at home, but this planner goes with me to work, and I use it Monday through Friday at work. I do have to abide by HIPAA and FERPA, which means that for the last 10 years since I've been working a job, almost 10 years, I've been working a job as like a case manager or counselor or clinician. I have use a separate planner for work, and so this is primarily my work planner. So let's just kind of flip through what all we got going on. So if we flip to one of the first pages that I've been using, I guess this is what I'm calling kind of like a sticky note graveyard, and so I will explain to you why this exists. And literally when I flipped it open, I had some confidential information, which I really don't write that much or put that much confidential information in here, but that I was immediately met with that, so I'll have to cut out that part, obviously. But it was just sticky notes, for which I have moved around those. I haven't actually used any of the other pages for pre-planning or anything like that. I just kind of went right in with planning for January. And so before the year got here, of course I had like a 2.5 week break or so for winter break for 2023, but you know, I hadn't moved into this planner yet, but I had a winter break, and so I was kind of filling out things and prepping for moving into this planner. And so I had gone ahead and written down some of my new year to-dos on this sticky note, and I had went ahead and wrote in some to-dos over here as well. I used the Zig Clean Color Dot marker to make these little dots, just to add a little pop of color. I saw somewhere online that folks were basically highlighting a day on their monthly calendar by literally drawing a line around it to highlight it. So I thought I would do that since I was off those 3 days. I did go out of town for my friend's birthday. These 3 days, I left Friday and I was there through the weekend. But for the most part, I have just been writing in when I'm having meetings. I started by adding some highlights to my page. I was highlighting anything that was time sensitive. That was my goal. Then I realized that was annoying, so I stopped doing that. And then I also then went to checking off meetings as they occurred. And so that's kind of what you see here and what we have going on here. To reiterate, I attend a number of meetings every month, but I don't actually schedule or hold any of them. I attend them as a related service provider on behalf of my clients or students. So all of these meetings weren't scheduled by me. And that is why originally I was using my sticky notes to put in the meeting. So if I got a meeting invite, I would accept it, but then I would write on a sticky note and put it on the day, the actual meeting. So if I had a meeting on the 18th, an IEP meeting at 11:30, I would just write it on a sticky note and then place it and kind of wait for it to be solidified, because these meetings change a whole lot. And basically, of course, I could write using a pencil or an erasable pen, but I didn't want to spend all month having to scratch out, erase, write over these meetings because they changed so much. So eventually what I did was I would use the sticky notes, and then maybe the day before or the day of, I would go ahead and put it in pen, or I would just leave the sticky note until the meeting actually took place. But what I would eventually start doing, but I wanted to recycle the sticky notes, so I would just go ahead and actually write in the meeting and then put the sticky note in the sticky note graveyard so I could use it again in the future, if that makes sense. I'm trying something new for February, which we'll talk about, but I was out of office these 3 days and I just put OOO. I did not do the highlighting situation. I feel like I found my footing as for February, but we're only a few days in. So I'll come back, I guess, in March and do a flip through from February, because I feel like I have found a much better system for monthly planning. But this was pretty much what the month looked like for January. And again, this is just work stuff. Let's talk about how the days went. So when I didn't have work, I would just, in an effort to basically use some of my highlighters and stuff, I would just put no school, and then I went back and put off. That's insignificant. It's, no need for that. Same thing here. This was a teacher work day, but there was no school for students, so I didn't have meetings and all that kind of stuff. And so technically then, this would have been the first day of school. So as you can see, I was writing a focus, like what I really wanted to do. So I had some for that day. So on the 4th, I had some notes that I needed to catch up on from before break. So I did do those. And then I was just writing, and I have been writing school day at the top for intentions. Because I don't use this for personal, I don't really have any work intentions other than to make it through the day. So I've just been putting school day up there just to add like a little pop of color and, just a little razzle dazzle. It's insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But I have been, I had like a little system here. So if I no longer needed to complete the task, I would mark through it. But if I halfway completed it, I would put half an X or half a check mark. That's half a check mark technically. If I did not complete it, I would put an X. And if I completed it, I would put a check. And I would schedule or write in my planner. When I get to work each morning, that's when I write in my to-do. So I look and see what I did not get accomplished from the day before, if there was anything I didn't get accomplished, and then I would just move it to the next day. So as you can see, since I halfway did complete holiday notes. Oh, that's what I meant. When we have no school, I still go ahead and do a note and write in the note section why there's no session for me. There's no session that me and my student did because of a holiday or no school. So that's what I meant for holiday notes. I went ahead and I wrote, and I did the notes for all those days for all those kids, and I just wrote in winter break. So what else did I do? Oh, of course I have shared this before, but if I'm at work and I think of a to-do that I can do at work, or a to-do that I want to transfer to my personal planner, I will write it here in my actual planner. So while this is a work planner, I do, like if I'm at work and I think of something, I will add it to this. I won't go get my personal planner just to add a to-do. If I have this out, I will write it in here and transfer it later. So one thing that I was trying to find a groove of, I guess, is I was trying to mark my work hours, and I was just trying to find a way to mark them. Here I put work inside of a highlighted box. I didn't really like that. Then I tried that. That was weird. I didn't like that either. Then we had no school on those days. School, I tried another, is that another? Yeah, that's another little system that I tried. Then I tried doing a dot, using my dot marker for a meeting around the, you know, this is 12:45, but I did it for 12 o'clock because it was in the 12 o'clock hour in my head. And then I tried highlighting it, didn't really like that, that was weird. I was writing notes about the meeting. There's so much space here that it's perfect to write down any notes in the meeting. So I take this to the meeting and then I write down any notes if I need to write down any personal notes for me. So that's what that was about. Then I tried this. And then here, oh, I was already doing that, wasn't I? Yeah, I was using the dot marker to highlight, to add a little color, a pop of color to the to-dos. But I tried this for marking off my work schedule. Then I tried this to see what that was like. That meeting was rescheduled when I left one school and went to it. That meeting was rescheduled literally when I got there, and they were about to reschedule it. So yeah, meetings get rescheduled quite a bit. And if you see any names, those are teacher names. Then we have this one. I had a new method, another method I think, for marking off the work day. Then I just wrote weekend, MLK Day. Then I tried using a highlighter to mark off my work schedule. And then I like this. I was highlighting the things that were important that I wanted to complete that day. Then I observed a kid, and there is an observation sheet that I fill out, a form, but sometimes I'll just write down like little notes here. So that's what that's about. So this goes with me everywhere if we haven't made that clear when I'm at work. Then I think these are all pretty much, you know, what was that? Oh, I was planning out 2 days at one time. I was planning out Monday and Tuesday, and I accidentally did it on Saturday and Sunday, which was crazy. So I marked it out, and then I did it again on Monday and Tuesday. So I like that. That was cute. I like this. That was fun. And then we have that. And then some days I don't, like that day I didn't really, sometimes if I have maybe an observation that I'm doing all day and some notes or something, I might not even pull out the planner. But as you can see, I'm pretty consistent with it. That's a different color pen that I added in. So I thought that was fun because I went to this event and I got this pen. It's just like some little cute little pen. And I was like, let's see what color it is. And so that was cute. That was my focus of the day. I had a room key. Oh, and then I started highlighting the, like a block. So that was kind of, I think that's my new system actually. I think that's what's going to carry with me into February. This is a cute little sticky note that I added for a pop of color. And then that's all of January. Yep, that's the last day of January. And so that's kind of how it has gone in my work planner. Like I mentioned, I feel like I really have found my groove for February. So we will talk about that moving forward. I feel like I have a better groove as far as daily planning and as far as monthly planning, which is ideal for me because I just feel like I just want some continuity when it comes to planning, so I don't have to think about, you know, what I want to do or whatever. I just can immediately do it without thinking about, you know, what system am I going to use? Am I going to scratch through when I've completed a task, or am I going to exit, you know? So that's what I have been trying to work through, and I feel like I got it down. So that is my work planner in a nutshell. Lastly, we have my personal planner, and my personal planner is housed on my iPad. This planner I actually got for free. So I just want to put that out there that I have two planners. I have two iPads, but that's because I got one for free. So if you want to know the difference between the two, although I've done a number of videos describing the differences, but basically this planner I use as a laptop because I don't have a laptop. That's why you saw this keyboard here, which is dirty and needs cleaned. So that's what that is. So I use this planner, this iPad 12.9 inch as a computer because I don't have a laptop. So this is where I do my editing and all the things. And then this little guy comes with me and stays on my person, and I use it for planning mostly. And I do have the strap on here because I use it for reading as well. And so this just helps me to grip it. So that's what that is. For purposes of this video, because I can pull up my planner, my personal planner on this device, on my phone, and on my computer, my desktop computer or any other device, I am going to flip through my actual digital planner, my personal planner, on this device. So we're just gonna put this one away, but I do want you to know this is what comes with me everywhere in my purse, and I use it for planning, but so you can see better, we're gonna use this guy. Okay, this is my personal planner and we are zoomed in pretty close so you can see. Let me see if we need to adjust our lighting. No, our lighting is already to the max. Okay, so this is my setup for February. So everything's pink. You can go in and just change the folder colors. So for January, I had more like a, I guess, a neutral vibe going on with my iPad. And so I had a neutral color for my planner cover, which is here. And then I had all of these, I think, gray or black or something, but we're gonna change it back to pink. So basically for February, I changed the planner cover and then I changed the color of the folders, but for all intents and purposes, this is what the GoodNotes app looks like. And so I have these 3 folders and then I have my 2024 planner. I wanna show you a few things while we're here. So this is the random section in my planner. So I have archived 2022 planners, basically planners I used from 2022. I have my 2023 planners and then my 2024 planners. And when I say planners, I mean I create my own digital planners in Keynote. And so that's what this is. These are my, like for 2023, I made 2 planners. One I used from January to June, and then I made a new one for July to December. So that's all inside of here. And then I have some freebie planners that I've gotten from companies in the event that I ever want to use those. And then we have this random section here with just random stuff inside of it. We also have my sticker book here. And so I have a bunch of stickers, most of which I have gotten for free. By most of which, I mean I have paid for 2 of them. Some of them are still loading for whatever reason, but this is my sticker book. So anytime I was using any sticker, I was just coming into here and grabbing a sticker like such, copying it, and then pasting it into my planner, which I'm about to show you. And then I have my work section here. So I have a couple of different activities and such that I sometimes do with my students and whatnot. And then inside of my work notebook, that's pretty much where the confidential information lies. So previously I mentioned completing an observation form, and I do those when I'm observing a kid. And so those lie in here, and then I will complete them in here on my iPad, on my actual iPad at work. Then I will upload them to their file section in this portal that we use, and then I will put them on my OneDrive, and then I'll delete them. But a lot of information kind of lives inside of here, and I have it in a folder for confidentiality purposes. But this is basically the inside of my GoodNotes. Let's go now and take a look at my January planner. As I previously mentioned, my planner cover for January was like a tan or something, and so it lived here, but then I deleted it and added in this planner cover, which I have made. But we're gonna go to January. Actually, we're gonna start with we'll start with the front of the planner. So let's get zoomed out. I'm using my planner in portrait mode, which is why it's long ways. I have considered doing it in landscape mode, so sideways like such. And that really is because I could really zoom in and you would see it better, but it's not actually more convenient for me. When it comes to filming, it would be more convenient, but otherwise it actually wouldn't be that convenient. But I'll make sure to zoom in on the parts that I want you to really see. So this is the front cover, which is interchangeable. I change it out. And then I actually feel like I need to center these a little bit. Let me just show you how this works. Actually, since we're here, I just move it oops, let's go back. I literally just move it over like such. And so I think that's better. Okay, so this is technically the front cover where we can navigate throughout the planner. Like if we wanted to go to January, we would do that. And this is, I think this is me and my husband. Oh, this is our payday schedule. That's what this is. So I've highlighted all of our paydays. And then here, actually, we can update this together. Here is where I was kind of keeping, this is like a sheet that I use for pre-planning. And so I needed to buy all of these things for, this was like January to-dos. We're done with that. And I did that. Oh shoot, I meant to check the mailbox. Okay, so that's kind of that. And then I was just keeping up with different events and such here as I am doing here. And this is for pre-planning. So once There are things on here that I've planned for February, like as an example, I'm having a Galentine's party. Well, this was just used for pre-planning at the beginning of the year. I don't come here and update this anymore. And like, unless something pops up for April, I might come write it in here. But for the most part, I was just setting this up for the beginning of the year and helping guide me as I went throughout the months. But I don't actually come back here and pre-plan because there's no need. This is my vision board that I set up at the beginning of the year. This is my ideal weekly schedule. And then this was January. And so moving into January, let's just kind of talk about how this went. So you would have seen me setting up my January monthly planner or monthly schedule. And so what I do is at the beginning of the month, or really a couple of days before the month starts, so at the end of December, I went ahead and I planned out everything that I thought was happening in the month of January. And so that's what we have here. And then of course, as things popped up, I would just add them in here. Like this was something that popped up, so I just added it in here using the same format that I use for other meetings. So I just kind of copied it and then wrote in conference at 2:30. But for the most part, I pretty much have a general idea of what all I'm going to be doing in any given month before it actually starts. So I don't really tend to go and add a bunch of things to it. Like I added an e-learning day. We had one of those because of the weather and just a few things. But if you watched the January Plan With Me video, then you know most of this was already planned out. Similarly, I planned out the goals. Just as a reminder, my goals actually live in Notion, so I just put them here as like a little reminder so I can see them when I'm in my planner, since I'm in here a lot. And then at the beginning of the month, when I was planning out the month, I wrote in all of the tasks that I wanted to complete. And then of course, as the month went on, I would go ahead and add new tasks, many of which I didn't complete. Some I decided that they weren't worth me completing or I didn't need to complete anymore. So I put a line through it and then check marks for the ones that I did complete. So these two are, I pretty much don't do a whole lot with those. And then we have my January mood board. So as the month went on, I would add in little photos. I will take notes here, but if I have any notes to take in my planner. And then I also kept up, I don't know if I showed y'all this, but I also kept up with our shopping budget here. And then each couple days, every day, every week or whatever, I would come in here, write in highs, write in lows. I would write in any lessons, any favorites, and then I would track my habits for sleeping, exercising, reading, studying, not drinking, consuming low carbs, taking my meds, vitamins, doing my skincare, and journaling. So as you can see, I didn't journal a whole ton. So let me show you one thing that's a little interesting that I do. I don't really know why, but I do it. Some people probably would never do such, but I do it. So if we go into my 2024 planners and we go to my 2024 weeklies, this is basically an archive of my weeks. So this is an example of a weekly spread that I did for January using the same color scheme. And this was also a sheet that I had created, a template that I created, and I used this for all of January. And so what would happen was when I was planning out a new week, I would literally just erase the whole page pretty much, and then I would plan out my new week. I'm not a person who holds on to any planner spreads, any digital planner spreads. So basically if I'm planning out a week, then I won't save that page. I will just plan out the week on that exact same page. I don't know if that makes sense, but I use this same page to plan out every single week in January because I liked it. I was writing in my to-dos, I was writing in my daily routines, I was essentially time blocking what I was doing with my days, and then I was writing in my personal tasks and my work tasks. And I guess these did not get completed. No, these didn't, so we're just gonna put an X here, even though it doesn't matter. The only reason why I don't delete this entirely, like I typically do, is because I want to use this as a base. So if I ever want to use this particular sheet again for February or March or April or whatever, this particular template, I have like a guideline. I have kind of like a base for how I actually like to plan out my week. I don't have to come in and do morning routine again because I already have it in here, if that makes sense. So this is just like for me to reference if I want to use this type of spread ever again. And so that's pretty much how that works. That's pretty much what I did. I know that's a little bit confusing, but essentially I have, let me show you, this would probably make way more sense. I have this here, and this is called the Simple Planner Weeklies. So for my main planner, as you saw, the main sections in any given month are the monthly spread, the monthly dashboard, the mood board, and the monthly reflection. I don't really use the notes. So like in theory, because I didn't use these, I could delete this whole page because it's insignificant. It never got used. So I'm actually going to delete it. And then the shopping budget, that was just something I did in January. I'm not doing it in February. And so I don't really need to keep up with that because I really keep up with my finances in Notion. So I could really delete this page as well, but I'm just going to keep it. But these are kind of like my 4 core pages. This one, this one, this one, and this one. The rest of them don't actually live in my planner unless I put them in my planner. So these are the weeklies, and let me show you a flip through actually. These are all of the weeklies that I've made. And basically what I do is before I plan out the week, I will come in here. I will select which one I like. I have a good amount. I have 18 of them. I will select which one I like. I will copy it. And then I will take it to my planner and then I will paste it in like such. We'll do it before this page. It doesn't matter. I'm about to delete it. And I'll paste it in and then I will plan out my week. And then I'll plan out the week. Let's say it's the first week of January. I'll plan it out. And then when it's time for me to plan my next week, I'll just come in and I'll clear the page and I'll plan it out. And then if I don't care to keep the page, I will just simply move it to trash. And I normally don't care to keep any of the pages, so that's why I don't have any pages from January except that one. And so that is what I like to do. And it's the same thing. No, actually I have, those are all January templates that I was using and trying, and then these are all February. So I don't have 18 different ones actually, because these are all February, as you can see, because the February is highlighted. Let me see, the newest one I made was this one because I've been really enjoying this whole deal, like the free space and the grid. And I'm going to try basically planning with no real structure to the right. Like this is real structure for tasks and to-dos and stuff. And so I made this one and it has no structure. So I'm going to try that out because then I'll be able to put in like decorate all cute, you know? So it's more space for decorating and all that. So that is what I am planning to do there. That's why that exists. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not planning for my day in my planner, in my personal planner, and that is because I don't actually plan for my day. I just plan out the week and then I just put things in there. Let's go back to my weeklies. I don't actually plan for a day. I just kind of plan. I plan out the day, but I don't have a daily planner spread. That is because I have a work planner where I plan out my life from like 7:30 to 3:30 or 4 o'clock or whatever. And then I also have this planner, but when I get home, I don't need a real structure for the evening necessarily. I kind of do it sometimes at the beginning of the week just to get an overall depiction of what my week is going to look like. But for the most part, I don't have, you know, let's say for my personal to-do list or my work to-do list, because it does include YouTube stuff, I might aim to complete 1 or 2 things. Like today, I'm looking to film this video and then I have a meeting, which I already clearly know about and remember. And then there are just a few little random bits and bobs that I want to do around the house. And I'll just kind of pick and choose which things I'm going to do from my to-do list. I have all the things that I want to do planned out. And so I will just pick a couple things from my to-do list that I want to do today. I don't have anything major that I need to do besides film this video and attend a meeting. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't need that much structure to my evening. I just need to structure my day at work, which takes up the bulk of my day. And then at home, I normally have one major to do that I want to complete, like filming a video or editing it or going to work out or something like that. And then I will just kind of pick and choose things from my list that I want to complete given the amount of time that I have available to me. That's pretty much how that works. I normally don't have anything that I have to do every evening. Even filming a video, I don't technically have to film this. It's just something that I choose to do. I don't have to film it today. It just makes sense for me to film it today. I could very well film it tomorrow or the next day, but it just makes sense to do so today. This week I'm actually prepping for Galentine's, and so I have a number of little things that I want to do for Galentine's, like I need to package my prizes. I need to print my games. I need to start cleaning the house, like little stuff like that. I hope that that makes sense. I almost forgot, but while we're here, I want to show you this budget planner that Christina Loves Planning sent to me. Recently, she sent me altogether 3 planners. I gave away one. I was going to give one to my mother-in-law and then keep one for myself. Her budget planners come in 3 different styles, I guess you could say. A disc bound planner, a spiral bound planner, and then a ring bound planner, I'm pretty sure. So this one is actually the spiral bound planner, and it comes in this pretty box, and then it also comes with these date dots. Looks like date dots and monthly scripts. Yep. So date dots, monthly scripts. Oh, and then some like stickers that you can use for paydays, or if you have a bill that is due, you can use those stickers. And so I'm going to show you this planner really quickly. I do love this planner. I don't plan to add it to my lineup now. I may add it to my lineup. I just don't know that it's going to be this year. It has an about me. I'm a mom of 3 grown children. I've always had a love for finance. Quit my day job to run my business full time. I've learned a lot along the way. Inspiration comes from customers. I wouldn't be here without you. And then it has all of her information here. So definitely follow her at Christina_loves_planning on Instagram. If you have not, that is where we connected many years ago. So yeah, she sent me this planner, which I think is really cute. Thank you, Shay. Hope you love it. Linen A5 coil planner, new. I think this is, yeah, I think this is new, because she was saying that this was going to come in, and I was like, oh my God, that's going to be so pretty. It just sounds like something that's going to be really nice. I have been doing my financial planning in Notion for probably a year and a half now. I don't see myself changing up just yet. I may go back to a budget planner, but as you can see, I have a work planner, I have a journal, I have a personal planner. I don't think that there is any space for a budget planner and for me to be keeping up with it right now, but I have a love for budget planning. We obviously know that. That's why I'm here today, because I just love everything about like using a planner to organize my life. And so yeah, I've had this for I guess all of 2024 thus far, because I think it got delivered in December perhaps, but I have not dove into it. But it's undated, which means that I can, yeah, she sent this in December. It's undated, which means that I can dive into it at any point. But I thought we would flip through it together. I think it's the same as the other setups, but it is actually different since it's coil bound or spiral bound. So we'll just take a look. It does have this silver foil on the front for the budget planner, and then I forgot what these are called. There's a proper name for them. They're like corner or somethings, but they are silver. And then the coil, I think it's supposed to be silver too, but in my lighting, which it might just be my lighting, is giving off like not quite champagne, but it's giving off like a much prettier color than just silver, if you ask me. All right, so it says budget planner, opening up, and here are the tabs. And I wonder, I bet you the stickers that were sent, maybe you can put them on your tabs. Maybe these are not dated, the tabs, so that means you can start the planner whenever you want. So this, I could start this in February, March, April, May, June, or you know, whatever I want. But 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 tabs for 12 months. So opening up, we have a contact page, name, email, phone. We have a place for our yearly goals. So we have January through December. And then I guess, nope, this just says yearly. This is for goals. So you could put birthdays or whatever you want here, and then you can write out your goals here, and then maybe, oh, okay. You could also do like your main goal if you have a main financial goal and some action steps to complete it, or you can just write in all of the goals that you have. And then we have a bill tracker for the year. So bill amount, date, and then you can do January. You can check it off as the month goes on and as you pay the bills. And then we have a note section. So that's kind of like the front section. And then this, I'm assuming, would be January. Yes, so you could put, if you start in January, so you could put January here. And then you could date it using those stickers that she gave. You can put all of your bills and paydays and such here. And then there's a bill tracker for the month and then a monthly overview. So I guess what you could do, I always think if you have 2 monthly calendars, is you could maybe do your like a savings tracker here. Let's say you want to save $2 every day or $10. You could put that and keep track of that over here, or you could put your paydays here or track your income here and then your bills and expenses here, kind of thing. Important dates at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 2 pages for expense tracking, 1, 2 pages for sinking funds tracking, 2 pages for savings tracking, 2 pages for credit card tracking, and 2 pages for debt tracking, and then 1 page check tracker here, so you can map out your paychecks. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I have considered doing paycheck budgeting again in this manner, for which I could use this planner, but I don't think I'm at a place where I want to commit to a planner right now, so we're not going to do that. But since we're here talking all things planning and all that, and I picked up this planner from the mailbox in January, I thought we would go ahead and mention it. 4 places for paycheck tracking, a tasks list, a saving challenge, habit tracking, if you want to use this for tracking financial habits, or if you want to use this entire planner for just tracking as your main planner, you certainly can do that, which was another benefit I always think of having the 2 calendars, because maybe the big one is where you write in all of your personal stuff, which makes sense to me, and then here is where you write in all of your bills. Now that I think about, well, no, I can't do that, because then that would be, I was gonna say, I could make my work planner and my financial planner the same planner and do my work stuff here and my financial stuff in here, but that would be a little bit weird. But 4 pages for notes, and then it starts over. Again, this is undated, so you could start this whenever you want. I think this is a nice planner, and I do plan to use it one day. I just don't know when I'm going to use it. I know a lot of people miss me in a budget planner, and I can't say that I don't miss it either. It's just that I don't think I need to keep up with my finances in that way. I just feel like Notion does the job. The digital planning system that I'm using has been working, and I don't know that I need to do this. We'll see. We'll see. So this would technically be the last section. I was trying to see how it ended, and it basically just ends with the notes section in the back. But it does have a pocket. Wow, I'm very impressed by that. It does have a pocket. I'm not 100% sure about the quality of it. I guess when I compare it to the Hemlock and Oak one, it's, you know, just because it's like that whole situation. But yeah, there's a pocket here, and you can slip some information back here. Oh, I don't know. I highly doubt she was aiming for that to fit perfectly, but that actually fits perfectly, so I love that. And then let's see, if you folded a piece of copy paper, would it fit? It would. It's just that it might be, it's a little bit too big. It would hang out, but for the most part, most of your bills, receipts, or whatever you might want to put back in here will probably fit. It just, you know, might hang out a little bit, which is, I guess, perfectly fine. So that is the Christina Loves Planning Spiral or Coil Bound Planner. I'll have it linked down below if you want to grab it or check it out. But I think it's really nice. I just thought I would show it to you since we were talking all things January 2024 planning. That is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I feel like something's on my face. If you did, give this video a like, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.